I just want to say this video may disturb some viewers, as even though no actual death is shown in the video, some of the clips may contain scenes of events that led to death or near death. These first clips capture a situation that's one of many people's biggest fears: claustrophobia. In this first clip, we watch as a caver gets himself wedged on a rock inside a narrow tube underground while it's filling with water. We can see panic starts to set in as the guy starts calling for help, and understandably so. You can probably imagine how a feeling of helplessness can quickly take over if one were to find themselves completely stuck between cave walls. The man was able to slide out back down the tube safely. However, many other cavers don't end up this lucky. Cavers die every year getting stuck in tight spaces, only they're normally completely alone, meaning no one can hear their cries for help. These next few clips capture just what could happen when skydiving or base jumping goes wrong. Now, base jumping is different than skydiving in the sense that it involves jumping from a fixed structure or cliff rather than an airplane. This first video captures a base jumper's horrifying freefall as his parachute fails to open. You can see the young novice base jumper's bare hands shaking in nervous anticipation as he tries to summon up the courage to jump. His parachute fails and he falls for a whopping 400 feet and 7 seconds, and just from that you would assume he died on impact. However, believe it or not, the snow almost completely broke his fall, and he walked away with only minor injuries. This next video was taken on a GoPro attached to a 27-year-old Canadian skydiver's helmet. He deploys his parachute at about 3,000 feet, however the lines get twisted. As he tries in vain to untangle his parachute with the ground fast approaching, he decides his only option is to cut the line and use the reserve. Luckily, with less than about 15 seconds to spare, his reserve was able to safely deploy and bring him down. However, it's not all happy endings when it comes to these parachute failures. In this next clip, we see a woman and a group of base jumpers jumping off a cliff. As she falls without the parachute opening, you can actually hear the woman's screams before hitting the ground.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, see ya! Yeah, nice.
Oh, woman. Dude, she's got problems, man. Dude, she's got big chewing in. Oh my god. What? She went in? What the fuck?
She first hit the tree branches, which did slow her fall. However, it wasn't enough to save her completely. According to numerous sources, she died before even making it to the hospital. This final diving clip shows a man base jumping off a cliff that is clearly nowhere near steep enough. You can see right here he actually bounces off the cliff, and only then his parachute ejects. This man made it through this with only a broken pelvic bone. In this next clip, we see a guy walking his dog in the woods when the dog spots a mother black bear watching its cubs in a tree. The dog slowly approaches and then starts barking at the bear. The fact that this is a mother bear makes this video all the more cringeworthy.
Jill, leave it. Jill, leave it. Sit! Jill, come here! G, come here. G, sit. Jill, sit! Sit! Jill, come here! Jill, come! 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 Jill, off! Jill! Come here! Come here! Jill, off! Come here! Jill! Come here! Jill, come here! Jill, come here! Jill, come! Let's go! Let's go! What's this? Come here! Come on, Jill! Jill, come here! Jill, come here! Leave it! Come here! Come here! Jill! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Holy shit, there's 2 cubs up there too! Jill, leave it! Jill, leave it! Jill, come here! Come here! Leave it! Leave it! Leave it! Jill, leave it. Come. Let's go. Come. Come. Jill, come. Come. Skate bear. Jill, come. Holy f***. Holy f***. Come on, Jill. Come on, Jill, come. Let's go. Jill, come. Come. Come.
On 2 separate occasions, the mother bear bluff charges the dog. Some would think that since it's a mother bear, it would be more likely to attack. However, that's a common misconception. Mother black bears are not known to be more aggressive around people, that's more so grizzly bears. Mother black bears actually only tend to be more aggressive if somebody is near their cubs. So this guy and his dog were just lucky that this bear's cubs were up in that tree. We've all heard of cops gone wild, but this following clip may shock you. In it, we see just how quickly a situation could escalate if you choose not to coordinate with the police. The footage starts with just a regular traffic stop for speeding. The minivan is carrying 5 people, a mother and her 4 kids. The police officer is relatively calm and collected at first, with the mother refusing to pay a ticket or go to court for it.
Alright, here's your information back right here, okay? Like I said earlier, you're doing 71 back there and a 55, okay? You're going to receive a citation for that today.
As the officer tells the woman to wait there while he goes back to his car, she decides to drive away. Yeah, with a van full of kids, she decides the best option is to drive away from a police officer, apparently not expecting him to go after her. Things only get worse from this point, as once again the cop pulls over the woman, this time with no patience.
Get out of the vehicle! Get out of the vehicle right now!
Just give me a second.
I'm telling you right now! Get out of the vehicle right now! Get out of the vehicle! Get out of the vehicle!
He orders her out of the car and tries to get her to cooperate so he can arrest her. However, she and her son clearly don't want that to happen as the mother runs away from the cop and the son gets out to attack the cop.
Go ahead and turn around. Just turn around for me, okay? Turn around for me. There's going to be 2 other officers here in just a second. Turn around and face your vehicle. Ma'am, listen to me.
Don't, please, you said you would not, sir.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! 761. Get on the ground! Get out! Get out right now! Get out!
When backup arrives, the mother drives off again, but this time one of the cops fires at the van with 2 little kids in the back seat. The mother continues to put her kids at risk until she finally gives herself up and pulls over in a hotel parking lot. The woman put her young kids at risk simply over a speeding ticket. Sharks, the reason many people won't even step foot in the ocean, are actually only responsible for around 50 injuries per year and only 1 death per year worldwide. However, these attacks are usually pretty nasty. This first clip took place in an aquarium during a routine checkup on a pregnant ragged-toothed shark being moved to an isolated tank. Then she becomes unsettled and suddenly attacks one of the divers.
All's good, be nailed.
This was a routine procedure for pregnant sharks that's been conducted successfully all over the world, but this time it didn't work out so well. The shark ended up shredding the diver's arm. However, he was fortunate that he was even able to keep the arm. This next clip is something straight out of the movie Jaws. A man recording his family and a beach full of people enjoying themselves in Brazil captures the unexpected. Screams filled the air as a young woman in the water was bitten in the leg by a shark. Rescue shortly arrived to escort her out of the water, and from this point forward in the video, the small remainder of her leg swings around as she's picked up off the wave runner and carried up to shore. The girl very quickly loses color, turning a bright pale white, and no blood could be seen dripping from her leg, meaning it was likely she bled out in the water. However, she could be seen still conscious briefly after climbing up onto the wave runner. The woman was escorted to the hospital shortly after, where she had the remainder of her leg amputated. There's no shortage of dangerous roads in the world, with some of the most dangerous residing in Bolivia. Death Road, which is also in Bolivia, is supposed to be one of the most dangerous roads in the world, which is where this first clip supposedly took place. As a truck leans off the edge of a cliff, the driver decides to get back in the truck to try and back it up off the ledge. However, not surprisingly, the truck caves into the hill until tumbling down the cliff.
Para encender el motor, mientras que atrás con una cadena otro vehículo de carga lo arrastraba. Los más optimistas decidieron nivelar las cargas tirando de un guardabarros. Entonces...
In this next clip, a group of tour buses are seen on a very dangerous-looking dirt road. The bus in front has to cross a very narrow, muddy path with a very steep cliff on one side. The passengers were ordered to leave the bus since this would obviously be very dangerous. As some of the passengers try to direct the brave bus driver, the rear tires slip on the muddy road, causing the bus to lose control and topple off the cliff. As you may have guessed, both these drivers died in the falls. It's unfortunate as both of these deaths could have been avoided. It's a shame with all these people around in each clip that not even one person would have just said, "Don't do it, it's not worth it."